Greetings, people. This is Z Malachi. It is now 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 18th day of May 2020. I started BlackTax the 4th of July 2017. What is BlackTax? It is our very own revenue collection agency for covering the cost of putting free services and assets in the Black community. In order for this agency to mature into something that will benefit the Black community, it will need a collective funding force. Our government has a collective funding force perpetuated by people known as taxpayers. Allocation of the funds have been distributed all over the world.
You're a gas station in Afghanistan, one gas station, costing American taxpayers $43 million.
To the benefit of corporations. Corporations rule the four corners of the earth by breeding industries to sustain their existence, starting with education, by which you will need to get a job.
The city, grimy man, you won't hire nobody, right? It's been like that forever. Forever.
Cannot continue printing the dollar bill and then expect us to abide by your rules when you do not want to give us jobs.
Indigenous people never needed a job. Occupations of this type are merely distractions that help maintain economic enslavement. Employment is a method used to occupy a people's time to keep them from establishing autonomy. The true function of today's industry is to seize a people's resources. What once belonged to everyone freely is now under the control of a people who have become allies in the network of business. Another social construct allowed to control your access to basic necessities. This means that at some point you have experienced a form of threat to be deprived of something, and that your only solution to work, to gain access to something that you could use that is under their control, referred to as ownership. You cannot own or manage services, products, and resources in such a manner that you withhold a people's access to the things that have been made ready and available to them. This form of ownership is wrong. It is an abusive form of persuasion. You know how to grow food, make clothing and homes. You know how to get clean water and make use of electricity. There is so much more that you know how to do to bring the care of safety, advancement, and quality into your lives. And you do them so much that they become simple routines. Why would you choose to do these things for a paycheck from a world of corporations, instead of doing it for the autonomy of your lives in a world where money, bills, and having to exchange things with one another wouldn't exist? So with the help of a collective funding force, I would like to hire people. Not to give them a job, but to connect them with the routines inside of a network of our own that could sustain our existence without the use of money. It is important that you know this because I have started asking people how they would like to give back to the Black community. Half of the people presented with this question become frustrated. I was extremely surprised. It occurred to me that a major reason we cannot unite is because we are clueless at what we will do to give back to the Black community. Probably damn near each of us are extremely clueless. Some of us think that being a successful Black business owner is an attribute towards giving back to the Black community. A world where an impoverished people have to pay for things is just wrong on top of wrong. It's wrong for having a monetary system in the first place. From Marcus Garvey all the way up to Dr. Amos Wilson and Dr. Claude Anderson talk about just how behind the African diaspora is in owning industry. The truth is, it's not in our nature. Among the long-lasting inclinations that the African diaspora has competing with devils in a game of economics where people actually get hurt and lose their minds is not one of them. We have a long-lasting inclination to share with one another and to make sure that we all have stability. The ways of Uhuru and Ubuntu drives us to make a world where we are the most creative. And we haven't seen anything yet, especially while we are surrounded and possessed by a people who only desire to enslave one another. So whether you own a business or not, I would like you to think about what you would do to give back to the black community.
Now will you get back on track? Black unity. How will you give back to the black community?